Hey everyone, Driving Trader here. Hope you're doing well. It's later in the day, but I'm coming to talk to you about a couple of things today. Silver, one more time, and Bitcoin, and what I'm doing about it, and also quick mention of AMD as well. So as we know, semiconductors have been doing so well, really taking the market by storm, AMD included. We're talking like a doubling in like weeks. So yeah, very I want to say unusual, but not so unusual for the days, and maybe that's just a sign of the time. And if you look at AMD, they're trading at like around $400 right now, and they were $200 just not so long ago, like weeks ago, and $100 like before that. So much is happening right now in the market in matter of weeks and definitely months, as opposed to years. And we see that kind of stuff normally at peaks. And I'm not gonna call anything a bubble, because if we get like a 10% drop like we did, that's not quite a bubble. A 20%, 30%, so it depends on where you draw the line. But anyways, I personally am still thinking that it's hard to say, but I think that the overall market still continues. If you're in AMD or one of those high-flying stocks, and you've done well, I would say take some profits, sell half, sell 2/3 or 3/4. Get your money right. Make it like solidify it, realize the gain, and then go into the S&P, or just like tech ETF, because at least those rotate. So if AMD goes down, you're not gonna feel that bite, and you're not gonna need to do the research to like see what else to get into. And just again with these high-flying stocks, just remember you only have to get rich once, and then the game is to keep it. So you don't have to go so risky if you've already done well. But that's just, I guess, like an intro for the market and AMD just specifically, because they've done so well. But now talking about Bitcoin. So my last video, I was thinking that there's always possibilities and probabilities. I was thinking most probable that we do pretty much something like we've done now, come back to test weekly averages, because we had a rise now for a couple of months from 60,000 to 80,000, and it seemed natural that we would come down, but there was also a chance that we would rip up way higher to 90 or 100. So honestly, guys, I did have FOMO there, and I did buy some, but at the same time, while I call it FOMO, we're at 80 grand. We're not at 120 grand. We're not at over 100. So, this is a discount. This is a good place to buy. I mean, what can I say? Historically, that's been the case. That's what we can go by, and everything else other than price action has only gotten more bullish for Bitcoin in the last like over the years, and especially now. So seems pretty clear to me, and all that I can say is that, guys, and like for myself too, it's just emotion really that controls all this stuff. Like, what do I mean by that? So let's say right now we're at 80,000 and we were at 120,000 right at the peak. So if you bought at 120, you might have maybe you probably already sold, because it was just so painful. Would have been so painful for you if you bought at 120. You saw 60, you saw 50% drawdown, so that may have been really tough, or you may have sold around there. But assume the position of someone that bought at 30,000, or maybe around when the ETFs were rolling around, so 45,000, 50, 60, even 70 or 80. and you saw it then go up and now come down, well, you're not at a loss and you're probably at a profit from those times. And so, you know, from that perspective, it's kind of a good deal because we were much higher before. But there's no reason to panic because Bitcoin has retained its value, and I think that's the key here. So, you know, with Bitcoin retaining its value, like overall, so much money has pumped into it, so it's kind of just staying there. And you know, then there's the whole story with, you know, money printing. As long as that happens, Bitcoin will do well. So that's where we are with Bitcoin, not like where you know, the account would have grown, but we're at a point where we may get some more buying opportunities. So that's great. If you have a good, stable, like money-making job and you can save, well, instead of saving, just invest, or, you know, do some saving, some investing. But yeah, if you're into Bitcoin like me, I still feel solid about it. And look, the reality is, if you look in the long term, this month, this week, we could still go down, let's say, to 70,000, maybe even lower, and still this month we could go above it and close higher. So everything is on the table with crypto and Bitcoin as well. I mean, the swings will be wild when they do happen. And, you know, I guess we had a mini swing to the downside. So that's fine. That's Bitcoin. I've been buying some more. I think we're still at decent pricing. AMD and the S&P 500, maybe not so much. So that's why I wanted to mention that at first. And then silver, guys, has been doing pretty much exactly what I said. I mean, at the beginning, similar to Bitcoin, after my bearish call on silver, it actually went up, and you know, it just wasn't going to my prediction. It was kind of volatile, but I shorted it again. I had some day trade opportunities. They're not really big money makers because I don't like to hold that stuff like overnight. But anyways, guys, if you look at the multi-month chart on silver, just watch out. We could so easily just, you know, go down to like the 60s and then the 50s. Just watch and see. That can all happen so easily within a couple of months. Now, what I do think is that 50, to me, I want to say that it's like a brainless price magnet, and that it will go to test that $50 handle again. Can't say for sure, but that's just a gut feeling of mine. Just feels like it will happen. At that point, I'm a buyer for sure. And just anywhere in the 50s, and especially towards the lower 50s, I'll be buying. Very safe place to buy silver and gold, wherever it is at that time. And you know what I think is, you know, just so you guys don't think that I'm all bearish, huge bull long term. And what I'm talking about is, okay, let's say we go to 50, we bounce around 60, 70, 80, you know, that could bounce for like a year and a half, probably up to the point where people, like, no one really remembers what's going on with silver and that it even went up recently. At that point is when we're gonna start seeing those price targets that people are talking about now, 200, 300. It will happen. We just have to give it time, and you know, just play the market at that point. If you own silver now, whether to sell now, you know, I don't think so, especially if you have a lot, or you just don't like going in and out and you feel that it's a hassle. Just keep it. But again, if you've got good income coming in, then this would also be a good time to you know, to buy more and DCA into silver. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for joining me. See you in the next one. Cheers.